Why is the federal government getting involved in an issue where there is no mention whatsoever in the Constitution, education?
We need less Common Core and more common sense.
No school district in the state is required to use Common Core standards.
Mr. Bennett, are they all wrong?
Yes, they're all wrong, but it's understandable why they're wrong. Common Core has been vilified because there's been tremendous amount of misinformation about Common Core, that it requires teaching of Islamic radicalism. You have to read all of Barack Obama's speeches. It's a code of political correctness. A whole mythology is built up around Common Core. Common Core are state standards for math and reading by grade. That's all they are. Anybody who questions what they are should read what the standards say. And they say such tendentious things as kids should focus on arithmetic in the early grades, learn how to count and multiply, divide and subtract. And in reading, they should emphasize phonics, the meaning of words, and good, clear expression.
Because while the feds didn't start Common Core, right, Mr. Bennett, the fact is that they have used grants under the Race to the Top program to try to encourage states to adopt Common Core, and you, even as a big conservative supporter, say that was a mistake.
Absolutely a mistake, and the governor's got a point or 3/4 of a point there. The government put its big foot on this and said, if you want government money, federal money, Race to the Top money, as it was called then, this would be a very good or smart thing for you to do, Common Core. From there, it went to the notion that the federal government was dictating it. Now, one can understand...
Well, let me ask, is the federal government dictating it?
No, it isn't. And by the way, there's legislation that's been passed and more legislation coming that will prohibit the federal government from being involved in Common Core. However, let it be said, as a conservative, one is rightly suspicious of this administration getting into matters that's none of its business. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Nevertheless, these standards were developed locally. They are administered locally. And in terms of governor's buyer's remorse, talk to Governor Branstad in Iowa, talk to Governor Kasich in Ohio, talk to Governor McCrory in North Carolina. They're very happy with these standards. There's a reason we had to do this, Chris. When states were reporting their own numbers in math and English, I saw this when I was secretary, we had this Lake Wobegon effect. 85% of the students, were proficient in math and English. Then when you took the National Assessment of Educational Progress test, students in that state, turned out 40% were proficient. You have to have some kind of independent assessment, some kind of benchmarked standards in order to see how our kids are doing.
Governor